I do spend a lot of time on the water. I'm an outrigger paddler, and I love to be on the water at the harbor, on the beach, and that's really why I came to Santa Barbara. There's something wonderful about seeing the mountains from the water. There have been times when we've paddled along gray whales, and we'll often get in pods of dolphin. It's just amazing. It's really amazing. You know, a lot of times when I'm out there, we wonder, how clean is this water? Lately when we've been out there, we've been seeing the cruise ships come in, and every year it seems they double the number of cruise ships that come into our port. We kind of know they're there, but we really don't have any idea what kind of regulations they're following and if they're following them. It's really amazing to know that Channelkeeper, they're out there, they're on the water, they radio the captains, they let them know we're here and we're watching, and somebody needs to be watching. It's not always easy being the watchdog, being the one that has to threaten a lawsuit. It's uncomfortable and nobody wants to do it, but it has to be done sometimes. And as a mother with a child, I think already he's not going to see the things that I've seen in my lifetime. Already so much of it has been degraded and lost. It's about looking ahead to the future and what it's going to mean to have something that our kids can enjoy and their kids can enjoy. It's wonderful that they're out there, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me want to support them just for that.
I grew up in town here. The watershed, I realize now, was a huge part of my my growth and development. Always, I've loved the ocean, and whenever I went inland and worked other places, I always found myself yearning to come back. And now I have 2 boys. I've already taken them out to the Channel Islands, and my 7-year-old, it's already in his blood. He's trying to plan the next trip out there. When can I go? And it's obviously having a profound, a good effect on him. My business, we're an adventure travel outfitter. We take people sea cave kayaking to the Channel Islands National Park and into the marine sanctuary, and to have a clean environment, it has an economic value to us. So as a business owner, it's really important for me to have these strategic partnerships with environmental organizations like Channelkeeper. One thing that I think we all, when we see these travesties of damage to the environment, there's such a feeling of helplessness. But with Channelkeepers, I'm actually, making a difference. And so to partner with them in outdoor education programs for youth that would never get to experience that, to do island cleanups, taking people out to the coastal environment and showing the viability of not only a clean watershed, but also the viability of tourism within that. It's good work that we need to have done to keep our environment at least as healthy as we can. But yeah, I'm happy with our partnership. I'm looking forward to more in the future.
Yeah, water. So when I was a kid, growing up back east, water was kind of everywhere. And out west here, when I moved to Ventura, it's very different. It's much drier, it's much more arid, and I felt kind of cut off from from the water, from that kind of life force. And so I would sort of seek out places that had trees and reminded me of the East Coast a little more. I was back on this little trail, and I met this guy with a fly rod. He said, sure enough, there's little rainbow trout that are native to this area in this little creek, and I couldn't believe it. And so I thought about how could I get involved in protecting that river. I got an email that was talking about Snapshot Day. So I volunteered that day and met some folks that were working with Santa Barbara Channelkeeper and enjoyed it. And I've just kind of been doing it ever since. At the time, my daughter was probably 8 or 9, and I wanted to have her kind of have an understanding that you can't assume that other people are gonna take the initiative. You have to take it yourself and get out there and kind of protect the things that you love. So it was a great opportunity to kind of involve her also, and she and I did this for many, many years until she went away to school, and I continue, and when she's home on breaks, we still like to do it. It's something that I'm really proud of, that over the years we've been able to contribute, even in a small way. Stream Team's always been a nice way for us to do that, and I think that the emphasis of the program to improve the water quality to a point where people are able to recreate and enjoy the river in a much more full way. I think it's really important.
I'm from Carpinteria, California, and my dad's always been farming. He's been farming since 1973. Every day after school, I'd go with my mom and hang out on the farm. She would do the books, I would be running around the farm. My parents had a farm cart that closed in 2006. Jason and I reopened the farm cart, and we decided to start our own farm in Carpinteria.
Being an organic farmer, it's a decision that we've made because we would like to leave the land and the water sources as they were, if not better, than the way that we found them. Water is the source of everything, you know. Without water, your plants aren't going to grow. Without water, your soil's not going to get healthy. Without water, you have nothing. And a lot of, what we see in conventional farming is the really heavy, intensive use of agrochemicals. What you see in those fields is the ground goes dead, and eventually the water table becomes contaminated. And, we don't want to do that. Agriculture is one of the biggest effectors of our fresh water stream. So we're extremely in support of what Channelkeepers is doing in agro. It's a big fight, and there's a lot of big entities that don't appreciate any resistance and any regulation and any change in the rules as they exist now. But without the little guy pushing and struggling, there never will be any change in the industry.
The way society is now, it's just filling your lives with busyness and stuff everywhere, and it's all about what you have, and it's a really unnatural way for humans, I feel like, to live their lives. When you actually get out on the ocean and you're fishing, that's the one thing you're focused on. You just focus on being part of the environment and catching your fish. It's a break from the chaos of everyday life, and it's this feeling of suspense and excitement. And then when you do get those big fish, it's really nice to be able to bring it home and feed your family. I'm really wanting to encourage this activity with my sons and my daughter, especially my 4-year-old son Ben, who's really taken a liking to fishing. It's something that we can share together, and every single time we do something like that, it's all he talks about for the next week. In the fishing community around here, I know one of the hot topics has lately been the marine protected areas, and I know how much work the Santa Barbara Channelkeeper put into getting those to become a reality, and I really feel like they're a really important and integral part of protecting our marine environment. I think these marine protected areas are just this place where everybody can come and see the marine environment in its purest form. I want future generations to be able to experience the environment in the way I was able to experience it. That's why it's really important to have vigilant environmental watchdog groups like the Channelkeeper putting forth all of the effort to make that a reality.